Hey, it's David. Welcome to Cross Fitness, helping men and women get into the best spiritual shape of your lives, one workout at a time. Okay, so I got a thought about God I want to share with you in this short video that I'm calling the two rails of life. The two rails of life. What's that all about? Well, let me invite you into my day yesterday. Okay, so I woke up. Okay, my father-in-law is in the hospital. We spent the previous evening in the emergency room for 3 hours. We suspected he had a mini stroke. He's in the hospital. My dad's in debilitating, incapacitating pain. So he's at the doctor's office. And my daughter is euthanizing our 16-year-old cat, you know. And so there you go. It was an interesting day, okay? However, I'm talking about yesterday. It was a beautiful day, a gorgeous fall day in the rolling hills of Tennessee where I live. I had a great day at work, profitable for the ministry, productive, fruitful. I had a fantastic workout, great meals, dinner with my family, good evening with my wife and all of that kind of stuff. So what do you do with that? How do you explain that? Well, the way I explain that is the two rails of life. Life is sort of like a railroad track. You got a left rail, you got a right rail. And the left rail could, if you use your imagination, be representative of all the negative, pessimistic, bad, unfair, ungodly, pagan stuff that's going on in our lives and in the world in general, right? And if you dwell too much on that, man, it'll drive you just bananas, right? But thankfully, happily, there's a right rail too. And this represents all the wonderful things, the blessings of God, the good things, the fantastic, wonderful blessings of God that are in operation in our life, the good people and the good things that are happening in the world. And really, listen, there's always two sides to every coin, right? And so you got the left rail and the right rail. And here's the deal. Our lives go down the railroad tracks of life with a left rail and a right rail, and they're concurrent, they're simultaneous. That's just the way it is. It's the best of times and the worst of times all at the same time. And it's never going to be different. Why? Because we're in between Genesis chapter 3, the fall of man, and Revelation 19, before the coming of the Lord. This is where you and I live. We live in a fallen world, right? In a sin nature and a mortal body that it decays, and it's, we have, our days are numbered. And fortunately, gloriously, there's a Redeemer at loose. The devil's not just at loose, but there's a Redeemer at loose, and his name is Jesus Christ. And so here, let me just suggest to you that on the track of our lives, if you would envision three big engines with 100 cars behind it. You kind of got that image in your mind, and all the way at the back, there's like a caboose. It's a little GPS gizmo flashing at the end. And, if we put at that first engine that drives our life, we name that engine truth. And that's and we let our lives be driven by the truth. That next engine is faith. Faith in what? Faith in God. Faith in the truth, which has a name, which is Jesus. And that third engine is obedience. We're determined to be obedient. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Obedient by faith to the truth, which is Jesus Christ and the Word of God. Okay? And that will pull all these cars of our lives, which could represent, our work life, our church life, ministry life, parenting, marriage, health, hobbies, everything you can imagine. It's being pulled by those three engines. And all the way at the back, that little flashing GPS gizmo represents our feelings, our emotions, okay? Emotions are part of who we are, but you know what? We've got to let them line up in the proper order all the way at the back of the line. If not, our emotions have no power to drive our life. In fact, they're going to derail our life, and we're going to go nowhere. That's powerless to change things, and it's an inside job in our minds, how we deal with things. So I'm just encouraging you on the left rail and the right rail of life, the two rails, the best of times, the worst of times, good things happen and bad things happen. And listen, let's let truth and faith and obedience drive us down the track of life, metaphorically speaking, and let's just trust God, that he's going to keep us on the tracks. And, if we get enough momentum going, three engines, 100 cars going 55 miles an hour, you know what they call that? They call that unstoppable, right? You can put cows and cars and trucks and, you put a 5-foot thick concrete block, it's not going to stop that train. No way. Why? Momentum. And that's what obedience in faith to the truth will do. It'll build momentum in your life, spiritually speaking. Okay? So I hope that encourages you a little bit. Take that thought on your day. For now, I'm David, your virtual mentor, reminding you that I'm always for you. I am never against you. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.